it never ceases to amaze me how a show can build up a villain for, say, like about years, and then they throw that villain away in spur of the moment of this random villain who pretty much kind of just popped up in a random flashback. A guy who was said to be one of the strongest ninja of his time, in which that, as we find out, is through prophecy and whatnot. And then from that, through another flashback of a main character gaining their final abilities or them gaining their massive level up, we learn of another villain who pretty much was only had like a momentary like lapse of evil, or pretty much we kind of recently learned about how evil they were, and then just throw away the villain in which that we just kind of gotten used to. Just throw that villain away, and then just throw in the random villain who that we knew nothing about. I mean, pretty much it's kind of going through the stages of, how movie sequels are, or better, how like a franchise is, in which that the first one comes out, it's pretty okay because they build it up and it's really really good. All right, this is our first villain. Then like in the second one, what I mean, they may not have as much build up as the first one, but honestly, they leave enough there to kind of keep it understandable. But then like the third one comes out and it's like a shell of his former self. I mean, that's pretty much kind of how all of our villains are. Coming from Obito, who actually had a reason to be evil, onto Madara, who just came out of nowhere, and now we have Hogoromo's mother, who comes the fuck out of nowhere. Seriously, and as I and going into my recent argument, the Byakugan technically should be, or pretty much the Hyuga family should possibly be the strongest family ever, because guess what? That is a ability which was originally from Hogoromo's mother. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. Kaguya, I think. But pretty much it's like I still have a problem with that, of them saying like, yeah, I mean, they have the Byakugan, but yet they're not strong enough to do whatever. I'm like, she's by far the original user of it, so give or take with that idea, you would kind of assume that, that the Hyuga family is by far one of the strongest ninjas ever, especially since that earlier in the seasons, they kind of said that, I mean, like earlier within like chapters and whatnot, near the beginning, they said that they are by far, or at least that they have one of the strongest eye abilities ever. But I digress. With this one, it pretty much kind of happens exactly kind of how I sort of predicted. With with the Black Zetsu absorbing Madara and them joining as one and kind of remaking Kaguya, which is kind of the only which kind of is the only noteworthy thing that does happen in this chapter. And again, it does act as another bridger to kind of lead into what's gonna happen next. And excuse me, from what I can tell, we're about to have a fight. We're about to have another battle. Also, they do kind of go in and kind of explain where the white Zetsus come from, because apparently this has happened before. Well, of course it's happened before, but then again, if you actually really think about it, it's like, or at least like if you think about it, it's mostly like, if you know it's gonna fail, why in the world do you do it? But that's just kind of how crazy it is. But seriously, they do kind of explain where the white Zetsus come from. They pretty much explain all this craziness, blah, 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 power, 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 I'm evil, you're good, beat up, beat down, so on and so forth. And apparently, leads into some false hope, saying, I'm not going to fight you, and then I'm going to destroy you, wipe you from existence, shit like that. But seriously, for what this chapter was, it was a bridger, and the whole thing of them introducing Kaguya as a villain, it really bothers me, because she's only had like or at least like that again, imagine it like in the Guy scenario. All right, if his father only used the seventh gate, and then Guy uses 8, and then out of nowhere, all right, Naruto doesn't save him, Guy's father comes out of nowhere in the 8 gate form and then just saves him, because now the camera's on him. It's really like that. Makes no sense, but at the same time, you really can't hate on it because, hey, it's ending. That's but that's still something which does kind of bother me. What do you guys think about it? Please tell me down there in the comment section. Catch you on the next John Grave show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I am out.